Hi, this is Randy. Welcome to my channel. Glad to have you here today. If you have an opportunity, would you please hit the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up. If you make a comment, these are the things that will help me get my video pushed out to others. If you could help me, it's free. It costs you nothing, just a few seconds of your time. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful day. Let's move on. We're going to talk about opportunity to help others. How many times in life do we get an opportunity to help other people and we don't do it? Now, I know each person's different, depends on the situation, I understand that, but we all have opportunities to help people. I'm going to read Galatians chapter 6 verse 10, and then we'll get into this. So then while you have an opportunity, let us do good to all people, and especially to those that are of the household of faith. What does the Lord tell us here? He says, do good to all people, not just the people you like. What does the Lord tells us? To love our enemies. So we need to learn that we have an opportunity to help people, and sometimes it's people that really don't love us like they should, or they don't treat us like they should. But you have an opportunity to notch it up and show them what really a true Christian is. Someone that can love everybody, even when some people are hard to love. All right? So we need to realize that we will never change this world by just going to church. We will only change this world by being the church. All right? The church is a building. But the people inside the church, most everybody that are there are Christians and they serve God. And so we're not going to make a difference in the world unless we change people and change their lives. And we can do that if we so desire. Opportunity to help others. We never change the world by going just to church. We will only change the world by being the church, showing people that you love them every day. You're absolutely the only Bible that somebody may ever see. There are people that don't go to church, people don't read their Bible, people that don't pray over their food and thank God for their food and what they have, and the only Bible they see is you. Now, they may never go to church. Maybe they haven't picked the Bible up since they was a kid, or maybe they never picked it up. But one thing's for sure, if you say something they think you shouldn't say, they're going to say, I thought you were a Christian. I thought you went to church. The world likes to do that. You know, they don't live by any standard whatsoever. But when you say something that they think you shouldn't say, or you do something they think you shouldn't do, then they're going to remind you, well, I thought you was a Christian. But we have an opportunity to help people in many, many ways. All right? Now, I don't get to do this as much as I used to because I've got a couple health issues. But I used to be, when I'd out of Wal Mart, and I'd see an elderly couple trying to put a case of water in their car, I just walk right over and say, do you mind if I help you with this? And 99.9% of the time, I just say, oh, sure, we really appreciate it. I just pick it up and set it in there. I say, Lord bless you. And they say, oh, the Lord bless you too. And they, because all I did was help them with something, all right? And you go in the store, and there was one cart left one time. I went in there, and the guy was trying to bring them, but they wasn't there yet. I didn't know till I got inside that they were out of carts. I grabbed it, and just as I did, an elderly woman come walking up. Oh, dear, there isn't any more? I said, this one's got your name on it. Here, you go on and take it. Oh, no, sir, you were here first. I said, that's okay, I got no problem. You go on and take it. We're going to bring some of them in and give it. What I'm saying, I'm not bragging on myself. I'm trying to tell you, you have an opportunity every day to help people if you so desire. But you've got to be able to be malleable, let God bend you and mold you into what he wants you to be, and seize opportunities that the Lord, when he gives you an opportunity, seize it. See somebody trying to pick up a 10-pound bag of potatoes, and they're having a hard time. Walk over there and do it for them. Do something. And I've had people that were in the wheelchair, and they wanted something on top shelf, and that one lady had one of those, a grabber, whatever you call it. She still couldn't reach it. I walked right over. I said, ma'am, what do you want up there? I'll get it for you. Oh, I don't want to put you out. I said, you're not putting me out. I'm in this aisle. Tell me what you like. And she said, well, I'd like that and whatever. And I get it and hand it to her. Says, you need anything else? Well, if you really wouldn't mind, the shelf right below it, I want And I get that, and I said, what else can I do? She said, you've been more than nice. Thank you so much for helping me. I said, Lord bless you. And then she looked at me and she goes, oh, well, Lord bless you too. Why? Because we have an opportunity to help others, so we need to do it. Seize the opportunity to help people. Live each day for the Lord and ask God before you leave home every day, Lord, who can I help today? Who can I do something for? Now, I'm not big on helping people that are able-bodied and they're standing out in front of Wal Mart holding up a sign wanting handouts, and that happened to me this summer. I drove up to a guy and I parked and I got out and I said, look, what's the problem? Oh, I'm low on funds. It's hard to pay your bills. I'm really up against it. I said, do you mind if I ask you a couple questions? Well, I guess not. I said, how old are you? I'm 32. I go, oh. I said, well, evidently you must be in pretty decent shape. You're not sick. And he just looked at me. He said, how? What? I said, well, I drove by here this morning taking my handicapped daughter to a place, and you were standing out here holding that sign. And now it's 1:30 in the afternoon, and you're still standing out here holding a sign. So if you can stand all day long holding a sign, Walmart right behind you's got a big banner on the front says we're hiring, starting pay $14 an hour. I said, right up the street here is Menards, and they got a sign up starting at $15 an hour, and they're hiring. There's signs all over town. People are hiring. Wouldn't it be better to go get a job and go to work than stand out here all day? He just looked at me like he could kill me, took his sign, he walked off. Went about 50, 60 feet down that way towards Penny's and stood there holding his sign. Opportunity. So I told one of the downer, and I told the guy, I said, look, why don't you let me pray for you? Well, I don't need prayer. I go, look, if you can't pay your bills and you're out here holding a sign asking people to give you money, I'm sure that you could use God to help you. Can I pray with you? Well, if you want to pray for him, you can. And I said, all right, so I prayed for him. Whether he bowed his head or not, I don't know. When I closed my eyes and started to pray for him, I never looked. And I prayed for him, and he never said thank you. He never said anything. And so when I got ready to walk off, I said, the Lord bless you. And he just shook his head like this. And I walked off and got in my car, and I drove off. I didn't feel led in the spirit to help him. I thought I gave him what God wanted me to give him. He's able-bodied, he's able to work, and he's going to go get a job. And everybody was hiring. Today, this day I'm making this video right after Christmas. There are at least 7 places in town I've seen who have big signs up in front of them that they're hiring. They're accepting applications, they're hiring right now. And so there's no excuse for people just to stand out day after day after day after day begging people to give them money when they're able-bodied. If you can stand up on your feet and stand out in a parking lot for 6 or 8 hours collecting money, you sure can go to work a job. But we need to seize the opportunities to help people. Now, I don't mind helping people that really need to be helped. One other time, I'll just real quick, I was driving by there and I seen a real elderly couple. It was real hot in the summertime. It was about 8:30 in the morning. It was already 90 degrees. And I saw their hood up on their car. They had a real old K car. All right, K car is a Dodge Aries or Plymouth Reliant. I sold them. I worked at a Chrysler store for 25 years as a manager, so I knew what they were. The car was really old. It was about an 87, 86. And this was last summer. And I wheeled right over to McDonald's, and I got them 2 cups of coffees and 2 breakfast sandwiches. And I drove back, and just as I got out of my car, another girl who was probably in her mid-20s got out, and she had 2 coffees. And she goes, oh, we had the same idea. I said, yeah. And she goes, what you got in the bag? I go, 2 breakfast sandwiches. She said, well, I didn't get any of those. I said, okay, let's go give it to them. So we did. And before I could say anything, I let her go first because she was a girl. You know, she's a woman. And so she said, can I pray with you? And then she looked over at me. She said, do you mind? I said, hey, I'm a retired pastor. I'll be glad to pray with you. Oh, that's great. It's even better. So we prayed for them, gave them the food, gave them the drinks, And I asked them, you want me to go get you a couple of bottles of cold water? And they said, well, no, that's not necessary. I said, I don't mind doing it. It's getting hot. It's already 90. And they said, well, that's why I got under the shade over here. He said, my car just, I busted a hose. And I said, well, do you need me to get you a gallon of antifreeze? We're right here in front of Wal Mart. I can get you some antifreeze. And I can run up the auto parts store and see if I can get you a hose for your car. He said, I really appreciate it. He goes, I got some money. I just, we were passing through. And anyway, I talked to him. And so I went over to Walmart and bought him a gallon of antifreeze. And I came back, and when I told him I would get him a hose that had busted there, go up to the auto parts store. He had 2 or 3 real close by. And he said another guy came by, and he said he was a Christian, and he ran up to get him a hose. He told him not to buy the antifreeze, and we helped him out. Why? Opportunity. How many opportunities does the Lord give you every day? Simple things, reaching up and getting a box for somebody, giving somebody a bottle of water or a cup of coffee. I mean, there's so many things you can do to encourage people if you would. Live each day for the Lord and make a difference in people's lives. Lord, who can I help today? Who can I lift up today? Lord, maybe I can just pray for them. Maybe nobody's prayed for them in years. Maybe if I offer to pray for them, they'll appreciate it. The Lord gives someone a chance to be encouraged every day. But do we seek and seize the moment to do it? I hope you do. If you don't, start doing it. Opportunity to help others. God loves you. God's love and peace to you today. Sorry I went a little bit over and a little longer than I thought. Thank you for your time, this time, till next time. Old Rev May signing off. You have a wonderful day and God bless you.